the most spectacular one-punch shot of Manny Pacquiao's.
Saying it, you may hear him. Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier!
Guys, there's nothing like boxing, and there are no athletes like fighters.
Struggling to get to his feet. Incredible. J.Cotto, unbelievable.
Back, takes another right. Burns in deep trouble again. Burns is down. Burns is down.
You know, you dream of fights, I guess, but the very seldom do they live up to this. It's over.
What's up, fight fans? I'm J.Cotto. Welcome to J.Cotto's Fight Page. And today I'll be bringing you Circus acts in boxing. Now, boxing has had attractions, spectacles. It's had its share of circus acts. The reason why these are called circus acts, because these are side attractions that have nothing to do with the sport. Now, Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time, boxer, went up against Antonio Inaki, who's a wrestler slash shoot fighter. George Foreman, who's also a boxer, one of the greatest, went up against 5 boxers in one night. It is rumored that Jack Dempsey went up against a grizzly bear. See, before this time, before this era, these types of matches made sense because of the times and the hardships of the sport of boxing was enduring. Boxing needed these types of exposures in order to get out there. Even with the World Wrestling Federation of the 80s, made boxing matches and mockeries on the sport with the likes of Roddy Piper and Mr. T in a boxing match in order to promote Rocky III. It was good for the business. Now fast forward to now, the social media era. Back then in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s, one had to travel for your Ring magazine, your KO magazine, and Time Warner Cable only had HBO for boxing events and WHT for movies. The Channel J was for Robin Bird and Al Goldstein. Let's keep it real. Nowadays, it's all over our phones, television. It's everywhere. Today, we have many combat sports, but boxing has its own platform. Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Conor McGregor, a former boxing champion who is now retired, and a mixed martial art champion who is current. That fight has been done before with other boxers and MMA fighters, but not like this. MMA may step into a boxing ring is a first. I, for one, am against this fight, if made, for many various reasons. Uneven in many ways, as well as not good for the sport. In this day of age, where money and numbers take away from its legacy and value, but yet these are the standards that make up for its lack of legendary status for this era. Floyd Mayweather Jr. has set many standards in today's era. Undefeated is a must. Make your own fights and make millions is what a fighter is to be today. With having other flaws to his status, Mayweather Jr. is the richest athlete in boxing and is undefeated. Conor McGregor is MMA's golden boy. He had a 15-win streak, went up in weight, and won some straps, and lost to Nate Diaz at 170 pounds. This sport is a much more close combat sport where submissions make up more of a fight resume of wins or losses than KOs, TKOs, or unanimous decisions would. Most MMA fighters can strike from the kickboxing background. It's rare that MMA fighters add boxing to their arsenal. We have to agree, two different types of monsters with one thing in common: pain. The MMA does not need boxing as boxing does not need the UFC or MMA. Having these two fighters meet would be a disaster as well as a shame to both sports. Bragging rights would not even be produced due to the manhandling of McGregor. This is the type of match you make on Fight Night Champions, guys. Or UFC on Xbox One or PlayStation 4. I mean, let's get real. You create McGregor, you create Mayweather Jr., and you fight. Very entertaining for that part. But in real time, it's not good at all. Of course, the fighters will say it's going to be a great fight to grab your curiosity so you could purchase the $9.99 pay-per-view. Floyd will talk shit, Conor will talk shit, and that'll all be just a sales pitch. We'll get an all access in order to amp up both fighters, show off toys, women, and money, all leading up to the fight. Along the way, we'll hear of antics, fuckery, some close arrests, and entourage encounters, as well as rumors, fan revolt, and wars will occur. Believe that shit. We'll also see lots of memes, merchandise, and style wars too. We're gonna see a lot of Floyd and McGregor followers, or should I say wannabes, joining gyms, trying to just be that. This would generate lots of money, millions, close to billions, maybe even a few billion across the 8-year spread. But it tears from the sport, both sports. This is always a possibility that Mayweather Jr. could lose to McGregor, but what happens when the side A comes into play? Demands. See, Floyd would want VADA testing, $100 million, no info on weight, on fight night. He'll also talk about the gloves he wants. Basically, all of the fuckery we have witnessed during the years. Conor, who's standing by his ground so far and is saying, and he's only expressing this, Conor would only want $100 million. But if he's smart, he'll also want a say-so to the gloves, right? Well, Conor is already arguing the purse for the fight, in which makes the fight a huge fucking smokescreen, guys. This only serves for two things, ladies and gentlemen. One, it is said that Heyman and Mayweather are set to manage some MMA fighters and are in bed with the UFC. They tried with Rousey, but the gender backlash prevented this. And two, Floyd Mayweather Jr. may get his 50 against Danny Garcia, WBC welterweight champion. I'm going for September or close to the upcoming holidays, guys. This is all a fucking smokescreen. Notice Garcia hasn't been in the spotlight. His father, Papa Garcia, either. No coincidence, they are training hard for the Vegas defensive savant. This here is just exactly how you know. This has to do with Khan, Canelo, and the WBC welterweight tournament, guys. Number one, Khan was Garcia's mandatory for the WBC because the WBC has stated that they had Khan for his mandatory. They also ordered a match between Berto and Peterson, but got canceled as Khan went on to somehow fight Canelo. Two, the WBC hasn't talked about the tournament's progression, and they have stated that Khan is still Garcia's mandatory. Guess he's on hold until he proves himself at 154, perhaps, and Floyd takes Garcia's virginated oath. Now that I've given you the blueprint to this packet, this fuckery, this sales pitch that just continues to catch everyone who isn't paying attention off guard. If this so-called fight is made, of course it will make money, perhaps break sales records, as well as bring in more casuals and fanboys. But in all due reality, both sports need to keep and pass down the authenticity that makes your sport what it is. The the foundation. Don't just make money off the fucking respect. Don't just do that. Respect it for what it's made of, man. My name is J.Cotto. Thank you for joining my fight page. God bless. Stay vigilant. Peace, fight fam.